Dr. Don Brash was Reserve Bank Governor for 14 years. He's also, of course, been leader of the National Party and Akld Party leader. He's convinced the Auckland property market is seriously overpriced and that while the LVR changes are appropriate, they won't be enough. Meanwhile, of course, the Reserve Bank is required by law to keep inflation in a target range that it continues to remain seriously below. But Dr. Brash doesn't think tackling that is a high priority.
I don't think it actually is as serious as some people think it is. I mean, it's serious only because the governor has made a contract to deliver inflation between 1 and 3, and he's not delivering that. Is it materially important for the economy? I don't think it is. When you go to buy your shopping, your clothing or your iPhone or your groceries, you're not looking at the CPI in making that decision. People buy iPhones, for example, knowing that in 12 months' time they'll be cheaper. So I don't think they're totally driven by the prospect of an average price change. Having said that, as I say, he has a contract to deliver between 1 and 3, and he's not doing that. So he is in a dilemma, because if he does cut the OCR further, and that reduces borrowing costs further, that further stimulates an already overheated housing market.
How overheated? You're sort of on the record in the past couple of weeks saying what? I mean, how much higher is the Auckland property market specifically than it should be?
Well, the conventional wisdom is that an affordable housing market is one where the median house price is about 3 times the median household income. In Auckland, the figure is 10. So on the face of it, we are way overcooked. I was in Washington last month. I shared the platform with a woman who's just done a book on retirement planning. And in that book, she says, as a rule of thumb, you should buy a house costing no more than 2.5 times your annual income. Well, in Auckland, you can't buy a chicken coop for that price. So I think it's way overheated.
And so there is an inherent political risk everywhere you look. One, the inherent political risk is that the housing market has left a generation of people behind, and that is a disaster.
Right. That's right.
And it's a disaster in terms of the way we see ourselves as a country.
Absolutely.
Two, the inherent political risk is that people are exposed at the top end of the market who've entered in the last 2 or 3 years and are mortgaged up to the eyeballs to the real risk of a property market collapse.
That's correct.
And the disappearance of their equity.
That's right.
And how on earth does the Reserve Bank Governor manage that?
Well, of course he can't. I think what he's responsible for is the inflation rate and the stability of the banking system. Now, that's why he's moving on these LVR ratios today. He wants to avoid the possibility that if housing market reduction, collapse, what you wish, puts pressure on the banking system. That is his legal responsibility also.
So when the government says to him, get on with it, is that a good faith suggestion, really?
Well, I mean, certainly I understand the government saying, look, don't announce that you're going to make these changes in 6 months' time, because by definition, people will try to anticipate what the bank will do and get in ahead of it. So I think the government is right that if you're going to do it quickly. And to be fair, the Reserve Bank has now said effective 1 September, and we want the banks to behave in the spirit of these regulations from now. So I think that's a good way of dealing with it.
Okay, what is the other way of dealing with it? Balancing not bursting the bubble to such an extent that it's catastrophic for people in the market, and not leaving people behind to such an extent that actually people feel angry, alienated, marginalised and lost.
Unfortunately, there is no simple and painless and politically neutral or politically undamaging solution, if you like. I cannot see how we can move to affordable housing without house prices coming down. If you're 10 times average incomes now, and you want to get to even 5 times, which would still be expensive, you cannot do that within decades by simply allowing incomes to try and catch up.
And when the government says supply, we'll sort the unitary plan, we'll sort supply, is that a persuasive solution?
Oh, it would fix it in due course, no question about that, but it would fix it only by reducing house prices. I mean, the government's on record as saying we want house prices to go up, but no more than single-digit increases. Labor, on the other hand, is saying they want them to go up, but no more than 2 or 3% a year. Both political parties are talking about house prices continuing to rise. And I think they're being slightly unrealistic about that.